Welcome back to Rome. My guest tonight is in his first season as the head football coach at Texas Tech. He's got that team 4-0 and ranked number 20 in the AP poll. I'm joined by Kliff Kingsbury. Kliff, good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
All right, good to have you. You, of course, played quarterback at Texas Tech, so let me hit you with a very obvious question. What's it mean to you to come back and coach at your alma mater?
It's been everything. It really has. The outpouring of support from the fans and the student body has been incredible. And the program's felt that, and it's fed off it. And we're really, really humbled and honored to be back. I
mean, things have moved so quickly and happened so fast for you. I mean, you got that job at 33. You never know when you get your first shot. But is that the way you mapped it out? Did you expect to get that good of an opportunity that soon?
No, not at all. I've been very fortunate to be around great coaches and great players. And when I got into the profession after playing, I just wanted to work as hard as I could. And luckily, good things happened. And like I said, I was around really good players, and that always helps.
I mean, Kliff, you're 33 when you get the job. You're 34 right now. Is there any part of you that thought, yeah, maybe I'll get into coaching at some point, but in my early 30s, I know I'll still be playing?
Yeah, every part of me thought that. That's all I ever wanted to do was play quarterback. And, you know, when that didn't work out after a few years, I just fell in love with this profession. And a series of great events for me led to this happening this early in my career.
All right, so you're just 5 years in, but you've already been around some really, really good coaches. Looking back over the last 5 years, who's the single coach that's had the greatest influence on you?
I'd say Coach Sumlin, just his management skills, the way he handles his teams, the amount of respect he gets from both players and coaches. It's something I try to do on a daily basis. He really has his teams playing hard for him, and his coaches working hard for him, and that's all the way he treats them.
You know, you mentioned Sumlin, so I'll ask you about Texas A&M and the time that you spent with Johnny Manziel. I mean, it seems like, there's so much to like about Manziel. He's got things that you certainly can't teach. He's got the great athleticism. He's very, very good instinctively, but you've been in the NFL, so you know what they're looking for. He doesn't necessarily have certain things that they want, namely the size or the big arm. What I'm getting at is, how do you think he'll project on the next level?
I think he'll be great. I think you see the evolution of some of those offenses where they're building around the quarterback instead of trying to fit him into a certain system. And I haven't been around Johnny. He's the best college player I've ever seen at that position. And I think he'll adjust great. I think he's just now hitting his potential once he really learns how to study the game at that level. I think the sky's the limit for him.
You know, people knew that he was a good player, but still, some passed on him, and he didn't get that opportunity right away. When you saw him for the first time, when was the first time actually that you knew this kid's special, he's different?
It was really the very first game we played Florida, and it was like a 3rd and 15. We caught a quarterback draw, and he basically outran everybody and then ran somebody over and got the first down. And up until that point, you know, he hadn't been live in practice, so we didn't know exactly what he could do. And after that, we were like, well, we got something special.
All right, so you guys right now were picked, Kliff, by some to finish 8th, some to finish 9th in the conference, yet you've got that team in the top 20. I understand that it doesn't necessarily matter where you are in October, but the fact that you're building something and you've got that team in the top 20 already, how important is that for you in the program?
It's been great for the recognition, for recruiting, things of that nature, but we know we have a long ways to go, and we're definitely not where we want to be as a team. So if we can continue to improve each week with the veteran leadership we've had so far, I think it has a chance to be a fun November.
So are your players aware of where these so-called experts pick them, and if they're aware of that, do they take that with them on the field every Saturday?
I hope so. They hear about it about every day at practice from us. We keep them aware of where they're picked, and so it's definitely been working in our favor.
All right, you've got Kansas coming up next, and Charlie Weis, of course, is their coach. You actually worked with him. He was your offensive coordinator in New England. I mean, it's not you against him. I know you'll tell me that, but what's it like to go up against a guy that you used to work with and take him on this weekend?
Yeah, pretty surreal. I have a ton of respect for Charlie and obviously what he's accomplished in his career and the type of work ethic and type of quarterback mentor he is. So it'll be fun. It'll be great to see him, and it should be a great game.
You know, fans are looking at this, and they're looking at your schedule. They've got a pretty good threshold for it. They see you going 7-0 by the time you get to Oklahoma. You know better, but do you see your players looking ahead at all?
I don't. I feel like this group does have a chip on their shoulder for where everybody, picked them before the season. And so we know in this conference you can't overlook anybody. And you see every Saturday that, those upsets happen. So we're preparing each week and making that the most important game on our schedule.
You know, Kliff, you got style. People talk about the style all the time, but much more so now than previously. Let me ask you something. Is it because you're a head coach? Did you upgrade your wardrobe? What's going on? Why is there so much buzz suddenly right now? Are you doing anything different?
I'm not. I've been doing this for a while. Just, I guess people hadn't been watching as closely. So I haven't changed any, put it that way. But the attention's definitely picked up.
Hey, listen, when you're that smooth, folks start to assume that, you know, it helps, and that might be a part of the reason why you are where you are. Is there any party that wants to say, are you kidding me? Do you know how much time I've spent in the dark room? You don't send off your headshots and get a job that way.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, at the end of the day, I love watching film and getting up early and the grind of it all. And so that's why I'm in this business, and all the other stuff. It's fun, but it's not what I'm about.
Gotta love the grind. You have to embrace the grind. Kliff, good to have you on the show. Thanks so much. It's good to talk to you.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right, me too. Coming up next, I'm going in with Andy Staples and Bill Ryder. I will get their thoughts on that pep talk that Chris Paul got from Doc Rivers. Do not go anywhere. Plenty more still to come.